we're going to wait for these teams to go into game, just waiting for them to finally decide they want to click a button, which makes them go into the champion select, but they don't want to click that button, so we're just going to have to wait.
Yeah, maybe you want to run down what games we're playing this week, actually. As you can see, as we have said, it's going to be Mineski up against the Saigon Jokers in the first game, the Kuala Lumpur Hunters up against AHQ Esports in the second game. Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I'm right. Correct. And
you are right.
SF5 up against Full Lewis in the third game, and finally we have the Taipei Snipers up against the Bangkok Titans in the final game of the night. And as I was saying, that we are into Champion Select, so I think we'll show that very shortly. And yes, as you can see, here you go. So Mineski will be on the blue side, and the Saigon Jokers will be on the purple side. So
we're going to see Mineski have that first ban and first pick. I won't be surprised if they go for a Nidalee ban up against the Saigon Jokers. I mean, Nidalee is becoming a really, really strong champion right now, and Saigon Jokers are known to play her a lot. And they don't ban anything.
Whoa.
And then we got a Nidalee ban. So Saigon Jokers ban out Nidalee. That was a bit of a strange. It could either have been a bug or a disconnect error coming in from Mineski. I'm pretty sure that was not intentional.
Yeah, let's just see.
Unless they choose not to ban anything at all.
Yeah, maybe they just only want 3 bans and pick 3 OP, like first pick an OP champion and then following pick 2 more OP champions. I don't know. But okay, well, did they give up their first ban? Yes, they did give up their first ban. So the second ban coming in from Mineski is actually Lee Sin, followed by a Renekton immediately by the Saigon Jokers. Both Lee Sin, a very strong jungler as we've seen so far, and Renekton, very powerful top laner.
He sure has. So Lee Sin and Jarvan being banned out here by Mineski. Jarvan's been an incredibly strong jungler. He just never ever goes away despite what nerfs he gets hit in the face with. Renekton, as you said, incredibly strong up at the top lane. He's one of the what I consider the point breaker at top lane. I mean, you have Jax, Shyvana, you have your Zac sometimes your Malphite, but Renekton is just always there. He's always the champion that can duel out most of these champions and does well against pretty much any matchup there in any situation. At least being banned out by the Saigon Jokers, who started to become a bit more popular again in the jungle, and an incredibly versatile champion. And Mineski, are they picking or banning?
Yeah, picking. So
okay.
what I just received word is that Mineski had actually have to forfeit their first ban because they left early in one of their games. I can't remember which one. So that's the reason why they only get 2 bans this game against the Saigon Jokers, and the Saigon Jokers will get 3.
I find it a bit unfortunate for some of these teams, especially players that came from back when if players came from the Dota stages of MOBAs and then started to play into League of Legends after it was released. It was kind of upsetting. I remember talking to HY back when he was on the Singapore Sentinels about it, like talking to him, why do some players leave the game before the next explodes? And he pretty much said that back when he played Dota, it's considered respect to leave the game before it finishes to show respect to your opponents, but in League of Legends it's not. So kind of a strange transition, but still every team has to go through that if they break the rules.
I honestly don't think that any team wants to disrespect any team, so it's just unfortunate that the rules are this way. So guys, stay in your game until the Nexus explodes.
So we're gonna see Zyra first pick coming in from Mineski here. They not really see them play Zyra much. I don't like Zyra after the nurse, but might see her mid lane maybe.
Do you know why you don't like Zyra?
Why?
Zyra has a 0% win rate in the GPL thus far.
Poor Zyra.
0%. I think Zyra has been picked about 9 times in the 30, 40 over matches that we've had, and Zyra has not won a single game. I mean, we've seen Zyra do dominantly, especially in terms of vision control, especially, and counter diving, counter initiating against the opponent. But the problem with Zyra now is that with the proliferation of support such as Annie as well as Fiddlesticks, Zyra just is kind of outclassed by the amount of CC that they bring to the team.
Sure does, and Zyra as well, with the recent amount of nerfs to her kit and damage have hit her quite significantly. She no longer has that impact that she had in that bot lane. I used to consider Zyra the strongest support in the game, but just started to get phased out. As he said, Lulu being picked up here by the Saigon Jokers. They will be playing with Optimus today.
Yeah, and Lulu and Aatrox, I really like this pick coming out from the Saigon Jokers. It kind of shows that they may want to go for the aggressive, but doesn't really show their hand just yet. But the Lulu Aatrox synergy, you can actually go into the Dark Flight and then pop the Wild Growth and then just kind of, you know, disrupt the entire backline. So we have that Twitch pick coming out from Mineski, something that Mineski is kind of, they kind of favor the Twitch pick quite a lot.
So we're going to see possibly Hecarim played here by Mineski. Always like to see the horse being picked up in any competitive match. It's quite exciting to see Twitch being picked up here, so he has quite a ton of AoE damage coming in from his Spray and Pray ultimate, which will combo quite nicely with the fear that Hecarim can unleash onto the Saigon Jokers if he chooses to do so. Waiting for Safety and Archie now to make the next 2 picks for the Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see Hecarim in the game because the moment a team picks Hecarim, it just means that the ganks are going to be coming in fast and furious because Hecarim can just run up the lane, use the knockback on his Q, and then just really pull off a fantastic gank coming through the lane.
So we're going to see Archie here pick up Ezreal probably. I'm pretty sure he'll pick this up just because it is his favorite champion after all. So
and the KO lock-in from the Saigon Jokers.
KO lock-in from Saigon Jokers. And I like that Junie is running Exhaust. No Smite. So we're going to see Saigon Jokers go back to the way they used to play, hopefully with Safety or, not Safety, sorry. Yeah, with probably Optimus or QTB in the mid or top lane.
Yeah, so no double jungle.
No double jungle.
No double jungle, unless Junie changes his exhaust last minute.
We're going to see Lulu jungle.
Lulu jungle.
Which was shown in Lulu's champion spotlight, so it's okay, it's viable.
Or Lulu can just be a regular, or AP mid Lulu, or how about top Lulu? That's
or AD Lulu.
AD Lulu.
AD Lulu.
Oh well. Yeah, so they kind of, it's now Mineski's turn to pick, so we actually saw him hovering over the Fizz just now, and now back to Twisted Fate as well as Jax. So what kind of champions can they pick to actually complement the team comp at this point of time?
I was going to say Shen right there.
Yeah,
I think Shen would fit well because if Hecarim goes in for Initiate, Shen can use the Stand United on top of that. And with Renekton being banned out, there's not really any champions that they can pick to hard counter Shen. I mean, SAJ could still go for that Jax pickup, which I think would complement their lineup very well. And Jax does very well against Shen, but I feel that Shen would fit Mineski's team comp very well. But I don't like the Twisted Fate pick coming in from Mineski.
Yeah, after the barrel of nerfs that Twisted Fate has kind of gotten over the previous patches, players have yet to kind of remaster him again, especially the 4-second lock, the lock timer for the card itself. Players are still a little bit, they still feel that the 10 seconds is, 10 seconds in itself is a long time to play with, so the 4 seconds kind of messes up the player's ability to play. And the final pick for the Saigon Jokers is going to be Jax. So you called it, and yes, I agree. It completely complements the team comp in itself. With Jax as well as Aatrox going in, and the fact that they have KO on the sidelines to use the Divine Intervention can really, really wreak havoc on the backlines of Mineski.
I really like Saigon Joker's team comp just because they have 4 incredibly huge damage dealers. They have Ezreal, Jax, Aatrox, and KO, all with some decent amount of both physical and magic damage, except for Aatrox there. And we're going to have Junie playing Lulu as a support who just complements really aggressive lineups and really, really high damage dealing lineups so well, just with that wild growth, able to shield someone, able to give somebody that extra health for a short amount of time.
And not forgetting that
and
slow destruction.
And the slow as well. Wow. So I really like Saigon Joker's team composition. Mineski here, I felt like if they swapped around Twisted Fate for maybe a Gragas or even a Fizz pickup, I felt like their composition might have been slightly better.
Possibly an Orianna pick as well.
Yeah, an Orianna pick would have been good as well.
Very good coming in with Hecarim especially.
But we're going to have to see if EXO is able to abuse Twisted Fate's good global potential. I mean, Mineski do have Shen on their team as well, so we might see quite a bit of focus down in the bottom lane. Hecarim is a very good jungler to go for even early to late ganks onto the bottom lane just because of his high mobility and with such great gap close as well. Combo that with a Shen and a Twisted Fate, I think we might see Mineski try to shut down the bottom lane of the Saigon Jokers.
Well, I honestly expect Mineski to kind of play out the laning phase because they have champions such as Twitch, Hecarim, and Shen, and Twisted Fate as well, who kind of take some time, need some gold, needs the mid-game items to actually kind of power up, go for the team fights in the mid-game and win. But on the side of SAJ, I feel that they can kind of break the laning phase early and send QTV to actually go to a free farming lane, do his split push like he always does, and use that 4-man push up and start taking objectives from there. And I feel that's what SAJ may want to do this game.
So we're going to see what I consider the standard summoner spells coming in to Summoner's Rift right now. 3 Ignites, 1 being on the support as well, on both the solo laners, Barrier on the AD carries, with Smite on the junglers, except that Hecarim will be taking Ghost instead of Aatrox Flash.
He really wants that Ghost for the extra damage.
Once that goes for extra damage, and he's just already so fast as Hecarim, and he does a lot of damage if he is able to stick to targets, so the Ghost just complements Hecarim incredibly well.
Yeah, and do you think that Mineski has kind of been practicing the TF? Imagine if the players now kind of mastered that 4-second lockdown on the card. They are counting the gold cards as they come in, lock it in, use the Destiny to teleport in to gate in, and then use the gold card. If he kind of gets that 4-second lockdown, you know, within his kind of own rhythm itself, I think Twisted Fate is still a viable pick.
I think so as well, but it's just incredibly hard to master as well, just because 4 seconds is quite a short window of opportunity for him to do so. But I don't so much... I like the fact that Mineski have gone for this sort of global team comp with very good jungle pressure, very mobile jungle pressure, and a quite strong bottom lane combo of Twitch and Zyra. I don't really like the Zyra pick too much, but is fairly decent for the crowd control potential. But I still felt that somebody like Gragas or Fizz or even Orianna, as you said, would have been much better just to fit their overall team comp. It might have relieved some pressure from the Saigon Jokers, but I felt like their late game potential would have been much better with a different pick at mid.
I myself personally like the Orianna, Twitch, and Shen combo. Twitch goes in, just stealths in. Shen has the shield on top. Orianna has the ball onto Twitch, and then you just whoop. Guess what? Shen comes out. Orianna uses a shockwave, and then the 5-man taunt comes in. So
it's still possible to see the yellow submarine combo coming into this game here. We might see Twitch pull out that sneaky combo of the Shen ult onto an invisible Twitch and get a nice taunt up against the Saigon Jokers. We are going into the loading screen. We should be switching that one onto your screens very shortly as well.
And let's just kind of run down the picks for Mineski. Mineski has Twisted Fate in the mid lane, Zyra, Twitch in the bottom lane 0, Hecarim in the jungle, and Shen in the top lane. And on the side of SAJ, we have Lulu and Ezreal in the bottom lane, Safety on Aatrox in the jungle, Kayle in the mid lane, and Jaximus in the top lane. Love that Jaximus skin.
Oh god, that Lulu skin is just true terror. That is the most terror skin in the game.
Yeah, and it just seems that the team compositions, both teams, I feel they do want to kind of fight. They don't really have very strong disengage on both sides. I mean, Zyra itself can use the Strangle Taunts for the disengage, but generally I feel that both Mineski and the Saigon Jokers are willing to actually duke it out in the game itself. So we are into the game, and whoa, we see the massive amount of pings coming in from both sides. So
and no mandatory pause. This is a game with the Saigon Jokers. We don't have a pause. This is phenomenal. This is game breaking.
Question: are you speaking too soon? I was just about to say that. Are you speaking too soon? And yes,
you're joking.
No, the Saigon Jokers never joke. Area itself, and the supports will be actually warding out their respective red and blue buffs. So will we see a level 1 fight?
We could potentially see a level 1 fight. I mean, both teams have strong level 1. Stop pausing the game, guys.
When you have such aggressive junglers like Hecarim as well as Aatrox, so let me just switch this up a bit.
It's kind of be the return of the Dawn Zionist, but we might see Noel here. Face check on the safety. He gets taunted up by Shen, but they're going to turn this one around. Here goes the Sun Confused TV. Gold card onto him as well. What are these two doing? It's level 1 fights. They always look incredibly messy.
Yeah.
No matter how good a level 1 fight looks, it just looks like it's 5 bronze players battling it out to the death.
Yeah,
always.
Unless Shen pulls off an amazing 5-man flash taunt.
Unless he gets that 5-man flash taunt.
But that didn't happen this game, and it seems that both teams are just going to back out and let's carry on and continue their way through the jungle. Regular jungle pathing, I feel.
Aatrox had to go back to base to heal up slightly, so no, I don't think he will. He will get to his buff on time, his first buff. So we're going to see Noel start where the bot lane, AD carry and support are. Just get that extra leash. We'll probably see Aatrox do the same and start at his blue buff.
So look at the vision control. So it's just kind of like at the choke points with a deep ward here. So there's definitely going to spot out safety later on in his jungle path, so they're just going to start it off naturally, and it seems that the Saigon Jokers are opting for the lane swap in the top lane.
So they're gonna. That's so surprising though. I mean, Jax does so well against Shen. Jax can bully out the Shen from level 1. Shen should not die to the Jax, but he will get bullied out from level 1. So to lane swap against the Shen, I feel like they're just trying to shut down this global potential coming out from Mineski, but that's about it. I felt like they should have stuck with the original lanes to start off.
Yeah, I agree, but as I said in Champion Select earlier, I feel that SAJ may want to break out the laning phase as soon as possible because of the amount of globals that they have, and the fact that their team comp, especially with QTV on Jax, can easily just kind of sit and farm in the split push lane while the rest of the team actually goes for objectives, especially towers and dragons. So it could be in their favor to actually kill the turret as soon as possible, but the amount of damage that QTV is going to take from the Twitch and Zyra bottom lane is going to be very scary indeed.
So we're going to see mid lane here. KO already shoving EXO into the tower, getting some great damage down onto him. He did start with boots and potions though, so he's quite squishy compared to the Doran's ring start that KO managed to pick up. Things going down onto Aatrox in his own jungle. They do spot him out, know that he's leaving the jungle as well.
Yeah, and EXO would be sniffing out this gang, and as you can see, the Reckoning comes down, the flash, a counter flash coming in from the Dark Fly, so good reaction timing coming from EXO, and we actually have Noel coming in the devastating charge. A go-kart hits Optimus on KO and takes a bunch of damage, both safety and Optimus getting very low. Will the red buff actually kind of take off? Will the wildcards hit and proc the Bloodwell passive? No, it does not, and both junglers just showing themselves in the mid lane, putting down some harass on both EXO and Optimus with no kills just yet in the game.
I felt like that was a little bit of a misplay coming in from safety there, just because he stuck around under that much pressure coming in from the Hecarim and Twisted Fate combo, and almost lost his Bloodwell passive because of it. The wildcards were just so close from hitting him actually.
Yeah, and look at the amount of damage that both turrets have received. This wave is about to just go down, and if you actually take a look, it's about 1,600 up against. Yeah, just about even in the amount of damage that both turrets have been dealt, but QTV is forced to go back, buys up a cloth armor as well as a few more pots, and he's just going to go back and defend this turret as soon as possible. It seems that, you know, TG and Set is kind of freezing the lane, whereas Archie and Junie definitely want to break this turret as soon as possible.
They might actually lose quite a big wave at this bottom lane because of heading back that early, but it could pay off. He does have that cloth armor and will have a bit more sustain coming in from the potion, so he does lose a wave for heading back to base set. Should be insignificant, but if Mineski abuse that, they might be able to make something out of it. As you said, you're going to see Ezreal shoving up this top lane with Lulu trying to take it down as fast as possible.
Yeah, and look at the wards coming in. They really want to go for this dive very shortly. Once, maybe, yeah, it's actually just going to go for this dive, or either that, just safety, just showing his face, wanting to deal more damage onto the turret with the 3-man push down.
Safety being a bit safe. So we are going to see that 3-man push. Hecarim is coming up. I don't think he can stop this though.
Yeah, he's
Unless
going.
He gets a taunt on the tower, but was not able to do so. Now Noel's in a little bit of trouble.
Double knockup from safety. The Ignite will take down Noel, and Snoy taking a bunch of damage. Junie actually tacking it up. The Bloodwell passive has been popped, and it seems that SAJ will take the first series of the game very shortly, and they have just taken first blood. So that was a very good 2-man knockup coming in from safety.
So I criticized safety's performance early on, but right there he did fantastic, and as you said, that 2-man knockup. And also, because of the fact that he was able to tank out the tower so well, we're going to see bottom lane. Wow, he's going to take him down.
QTV just manning it up as Jax. Jackson is so strong. Don't give Jax a weapon.
Don't give him a lantern. I mean a lamp.
But he's not using a lamppost.
Oh, he's using a...
He's using an axe, a real axe.
That's it. That's why he's winning.
That's it. Never give Jax, the arms master, a weapon. Jeez, that was a great play coming in by QTV. We actually had him just go in, duke it out against the support, and just kind of burst down Zyra instantly.
So now we're going to see Shen try to probably freeze that lane. We're probably going to see the rotation coming in from Junie and Archie to head down to that bottom lane. Snoy would probably want to freeze this one out and just free farm for a while until he hits level 6. You can already see that EXO is level 6, so that global pressure will be slightly delayed just because Shen is not 6 yet.
Yeah, and even though Twisted Fate has hit that level 6 at this point of time, he is not going to be able to put down any global pressure right now, I feel, because the lanes do not have the items to actually pull off that damage, and Twisted Fate himself doesn't have the items to, you know, go for his burst combo. The most he could do is actually use a gold card, but if he actually kind of combos it in with Noel and Snoy, both who have actually extremely strong CC on top, and in addition to Sid, they may be able to actually pull off a gank. But as I speak, SAJ takes the first dragon of the game at 7 minutes and 15 seconds, extending their gold lead to more than 2,000 gold.
The second buff rotation also just came around 7:20 on the clock. Actually gonna go for a gank on Exo.
So very dangerous position here. Safety actually getting gold carded under the turret, nearly dies to the turret shot. Has to Exo actually the one to flash away from that one.
Exo there wanted to throw the wild cards out at Safety, try and pick him off because his Blood Bowl passive was down, and then flash away in style, but ended up flashing and throwing them the completely opposite direction.
Yeah.
Good job.
And as you said, the buff timers are back up and no blue buff.
What? What is QTV hitting? What is he doing?
Let me, wait, what's the button?
He's QTV is hitting nothing.
Okay, the blue buff goes down. We know that the blue buff.
The invisible blue is dead. QTV has eyes that we don't. That was a very strange bug. I've never seen that happen before.
Spectator mode tends to, you know, kind of hide away the buff sometimes.
So, Blue Buff is going to go over to QTV on Jax, and he's already doing so well. Managed to pick up that solo kill in lane. You can see C3D is incredibly squishy right now.
And another dive coming in, the Divine Intervention being used. Exo will go down. In exchange, Safety does go down as well, and Optimus is going to duke it out with Noel. Optimus being taken down very low, and the Shen ultimate comes in. Does he still have his flash? He is going to flash away, but to no avail. The red buff. Sorry, I think the Volpo Blade was actually the one that actually took Optimus down. So a 2-for-1 trade in the mid lane in favor of Mineski. So great counter gank there.
Good counter gank coming out from Mineski, able to pick that one up. I felt like Optimus could have got away from that one a bit earlier if he decided to run instead, but not able to do so. Meanwhile, at the top lane still, I think Snoy is going to have a hard time battling out against QTV. He's going to be incredibly strong. You can already see this damage he's dishing out to Snoy, taking him down to half health already, barely losing a quarter himself.
And the fact that Snoy has no turret to run to, it's just going to cause him to lose even more minion farm. This is so dangerous for Mineski, but that was a great counter gank. If they can continue to pull off these kind of counter ganks again, it's gonna be very good. And QTV duking out Snoy once more. Yeah, he's just gonna continue to batter Snoy, and look at that Thorn. Will QTV actually come in? Pops his ultimate with Noel coming in for that counter initiate. Will Noel actually have that damage? Will QTV come back in? The leap strike actually leaps him back out. Will Noel be able to catch up? Snoy actually uses the shadow dash to come in. QTV wanted to actually go in for the counter kill on Snoy, but I don't think his cooldowns were just up yet, and his burst damage, I feel, wasn't there just yet.
A little bit of misplay coming from QTV as well. Use that counter strike and leap strike before activating it again, so he did not get the stun down onto Noel on Hecarim, and that really allowed him to continue chasing.
Yeah, and I look at the amount of pressure they're actually putting onto Exo. I think this is the third or fourth gank Safety has been putting on to Exo, and Optimus now is coming in once more. The gate being used, the knockout will cancel the port, and a clean kill coming in from Safety and Optimus. Such a great gank.
Safety just said no. No, you're not going anywhere.
Not at all. And the turret damage, despite the push, they were not able to take out the turret just yet, and QTV will be able to save that turret. So the turret advantage still in favor for the Saigon Jokers, and Mineski having a little bit of a tough time, especially with the amount of pressure being put in the mid lane. And as I say, the lane turret goes down, the outer mid lane turret goes down, and it seems that they may be rotating to the bot lane for the roaming gang squad. So a roaming gang squad coming from Safety and Optimus. They are heading in very fast. TG may be caught out of position, but no, Safety unable to go in just yet.
I felt like C3D could have got picked off there by Safety. I felt like Safety should be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, C3D had no vision on Safety, who was incoming to this bot lane and was in Dark Flight range. He could have done it from the Fog of War as well.
Yeah. And the fact that he actually picked up the boots of mobility just shows that Safety, or actually shows that SAJ really wants that jungle pressure coming in from him. He's going to be ganking as much as he can, and it's just going to help all the lanes. Whereas on the side of Noel, he hasn't been very impactful just yet, but he has pulled off some great counter initiation so far, especially in the skirmishes that have been happening in lane. So if Noel can continue to actually put on these counter initiates very well, if he's able to kind of mirror Safety, it may go in their favor, because as we have seen, it has been very effective.
So looking at the gold right now, we're going to see that Saigon Jokers are slightly ahead of Mineski, about 2.5k golden advantage, but here we go, there's going to be a fight.
Yeah, and the fight actually has broken out. The gold card goes in for Safety, the divine intervention being used, and the devastating charge comes in, the ultimate from Noel. Noel will go down first. Optimus is able to get away. A gold card to Safety again. The blood well is popped, and it seems that Safety will go down.
I like that from Snoy there. I mean, in the GPL so far, we've seen a lot of teams just chase after somebody that is low on health. We saw Kale was incredibly low and Snoy was chasing him down, but decided to just back off and help his team out instead and picked up a secured kill onto Safety instead.
Yeah, so that was a 1-for-1 trade. Kind of equal in, I mean, 1-for-1, so it's equal on both sides. So I don't know whether...
Kind of equal for one team.
For one team? No.
Because it can't be equal just for one team anyway.
Yeah, it's equal for both sides. And SAJ has that dragon timer coming back on, and it seems that they may want to start the dragon. Yes, they do start the dragon. And Safety as well as QTV will be milling down to help out with the dragon attempt here.
Saigon Jokers should be able to pick this one up without a problem. I don't see how Noel could get over the wall at all. He's going to try and get a snipe steal.
No, he does not get his. Does not get it at all. And they may chase down Noel. He actually pops his ghost to prevent him from, actually to allow him to stay out of the Dark Flight range.
We saw in the meantime, C3D got picked up once again. Archie was able to pick him off down in the spot lane. Now the blue buff is no longer invisible. Exo will clear out those two little lizards, you can call them?
Yeah, the two little lizards. Tiny lizards. And it seems that the last outer turret that's standing for Mineski is being completely battered by SAJ. This turret will go down, and they will have a 3 turret advantage on top of that 2 dragon. So the objective game being played by SAJ here. And it seems that Mineski is still kind of waiting to ramp up on their items. We see Exo on Twisted Fate has kind of just got his Sheen, will be building into the Lich Bane very shortly. And as it has happened, Noel forced to burn his ultimate, first to burn the onslaught of shadows to actually escape from that oncoming gang. But as I was saying, Twitch, TG has not been able to complete that Blade of Ring King just yet.
Not at all, and so far I really like the way Saigon Jokers are rotating around the map right now. All the way from the start where they took down that top tower, rotated down to bot lane, picked up a dragon, continued to pressure bot lane, and meanwhile bot lane is actually going to be a teleport onto QTV.
He actually manages to flash away from the roots and just, you know, kind of burned all that aggression onto him. And it seems that because of the 4-man rotation down by Mineski, they will aggress onto the mid lane turret.
So flash burn for QTV there, but not too significant, as they did have to try and get that gank off onto him. Jack still will want to farm it out for some time. Snoy, however, is doing very, very well. Managed to pick up that Sunfire Cape, has his boots, 3 kills and 95 or 94 minion kills right now, compared to Jax, who hasn't even finished that Trinity Force yet. So it's going to take a little bit more time for QTV to ramp up to the late game, but once again,
and they actually catch Safety on the side, the shield being popped, and Optimus actually kind of just buzzing down C3D by himself, but is found in the middle of 3 members, and DG picks up that kill onto him, and it's a 1-for-1 trade, and Mineski is going to go down the entire mid lane to shove on this mid lane outer turret. Will they be able to pick it up? Safety taken very low, the wildcards hit, and the devastating charge. Safety forced to flash away. Noel will back off. Junie will also pop that speed boost just to run away. So they will take down this turret. Archie from the side dealing a bunch of damage. Will he get caught out by the Shadow Dash? Yes, he does. Noel may use the devastating charge to knock him back. A gold card does not come down from Exo, but nevertheless, Snoy picks up the kill on Archie.
So, Saigon Jokers there, I felt like that was just an unneeded play. I felt like Ultimates did not need to go for the duel there. He did not need to go pick up C3. He should have gone to help his teammates instead. Archie didn't need to aggressively flash over the wall. There was really nobody for him to pick up cleanly. It was a very risky play, and the tower was already going down, and it went down regardless. He could have backed it off and not give Mineski any more of an advantage there. Meanwhile, they really need to stop giving these one-for-one trades because Mineski have been abusing that and trying to use that to get back to the game. We can already see that the gold lead has been reduced to 3,000 gold for the Saigon Jokers. I mean, it's still a nice gold lead to have, but it's not as much as what they had before.
Yeah, and it seems that Mineski has done an extremely good job at capitalizing on SAJ's over-aggression, and when they are all there to actually respond to the aggression coming out from SAJ, they actually will come out on top. And if SAJ's aggression continues to go punished in this way by Mineski, I think Mineski will have a very good shot at actually winning the game despite being 2 turrets down still. So the entire team for Mineski, it seems that they may want to pressure this mid lane turret once more. And QTV, as I said earlier, he's going to do his thing. He's going to split push in the side lanes. And Mineski will have to deal with a split pushing Jax very shortly. He has not completed his Trinity Force just yet. But once that happens, once he gets more items, especially if he builds into a Blade of the Ruin King later, it's going to spell trouble for Mineski.
I'd like to see how Snowy will do against this split pushing Jax. Sorry, just because he does have that stand united, he will be able to join him with his team if he continues to split push with QTV. He is slightly ahead with the almost even minion score, 4 kills and an assist with no deaths, just compared to the 2 kills and a death on the side of QTV. So not too sure how he will be able to battle out against Jax, so it'll be a very interesting one-on-one battle to see later on.
Yeah, and look at the vision control coming in from both teams. This is the vision that Mineski actually sees, and look at the amount of deep wards that we have on the side of SAJ. They definitely want to get some picks in the red side jungle of Mineski, and it seems that I think Mineski is kind of aware of it, and Junie has been doing a very good job making use of that oracles in this game especially.
Junie doing a very good job of clearing out those wards, actually. So gonna have to see what this team is gonna be able to do now. We saw a little bit of action early on, but not so much taking place anymore.
Yeah, I think both teams kind of have the timer on Dragon, and they will be prepping for that fight. We just saw Twisted Fate EXO actually pick up his Lich Bane. The Blade of the Ruin King on TG has just been finished, and I expect Snowy to actually finish his Spirit Visage very shortly. And as I said, Jax has already completed his Trinity Force, and it's going to be very scary on the upcoming Dragon fights to see the amount of AoE damage or the amount of disruption both teams can actually cause to each other's backlines.
So we're still going to see the split push, as you said, take place in the bottom lane. Just Jax and Shen battling out, bashing each other's faces in a little bit. Meanwhile, Saigon Jokers have been heavily grouped along this mid lane, and Archie decides he wants to hit 2 melee.
Yeah, just 2 minions with that True Shot Barrage. Yeah, and it seems that Mineski kind of knows, yeah, he didn't even kill them. So Mineski knows that the dragon is up, but is willing to give it to SAJ, so now SAJ will come in, group up in the mid lane and probably go for that push because they do see TG in the top lane trying to take out this top turret, so they will have that man advantage, especially the fact that Snoy is in the bot lane just pushing. So TG will recall now, and they do take out the top outer turret, but in response SAJ takes out the inner middle turret for against Mineski.
So Mineski here a little bit on the back foot. Saigon Jokers have really been able to control that dragon for the entire game, actually. Every time it comes back up, we always see the Saigon Jokers group around for it, and they made a very nice play earlier on to pick up that first dragon. I hope to see them continue to do so, just because I feel that Saigon Jokers rotations were incredibly good up until this point, actually.
Yeah, and look at the vision control that Mineski has. Absolutely no vision control at all. And on the side of SAJ, they actually have their whole mid lane being lit up, so they were very confident to go down the mid lane in itself. So an uncontested inner turret. Mineski seems to be on the back foot this whole game. They are unable to punish the aggression. If TG was there earlier, we could have seen him go in with the stealth, and like we said, the yellow submarine may come in and Shen can just kind of port, and there was no one to disrupt him in the bottom lane at that point of time.
I think now we might see Mineski try for something, because for some reason we're going to actually see safety come down to this bottom lane. I'm not sure why he is down there. I don't think he'd be able to pick up too much from this. You know, C3D gets caught out. Has to flash. I mean, Junie gets caught out. He has to flash away. So bottom tower taken away by Mineski here. They make a nice rotation, try and cut off the Jax, just camping out along this blue brush. I like the fact that they abuse the catch of the Junie.
Exo being taken down solo. The shield will not save him. The knockup as well as the onslaught of shadows being popped. Safety still has his Bloodwell ultimate. Noel being taken down very low. The Bloodwell will be popped. Junie being taken down by Snoy, and Snoy, let's see if he can actually try to clean out the fight as much as possible. But TG taken down extremely low. QTV will pick up that kill, and Snoy forced to Shadow Dash away. Why is my camera going back to that point of time? And it seems that Snoy just trying to, you know, man it up and actually get a consolation kill, but unable to do so. The only one surviving will be C3D. A true shot barrage goes through, and Archie wanted to chase, but it saw that, you know, C3D was way too fast. So a replay coming in.
So we see Exo gets caught out the same time that Junie gets caught on the top right of the screen. So they're gonna trade their support for the AP carrier, and Exo gets the standing line. Not gonna be enough to shield him though, but Junie will stay alive for this fight. Now we're gonna see Mineski actually go in onto the Saigon Jokers. They get a nice knock up with the Zyra ultimate and a nice charge coming in from Hecarim, but he gets bursted down immediately. Junie will then come back into the fight, draws Snoy away from his teammates for a good few seconds. This allows Archie to get free damage down onto TG with the help of QTV as well, and then they can finally turn it in a 4-on-1 situation against Snoy to pick up the 4 kills in exchange for 1. Yeah. So Junie got caught out there, but because Exo got caught out at the same time, it was a 1-for-1 trade, which went in favor of the Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, and Junie didn't even die in the early stages of that fight. He only died later on.
And when Junie came back into the fight later on, we saw that Snoy actually had to split away from his teammates in a 3-on-3 situation to pick off Junie. It took quite some time to do that as well, and that resulted in QTV and Archie being able to get some free damage down onto Mineski.
Yeah, and look at the superior rotations on the side of Saigon Jokers. It could be because that both their support as well as jungle has the boots of mobility as well, and the fact that Kale has a speed boost, and also, you know, Ezreal has the arcane shift, of course, with Jax and the leap strike. That kind of allows them to kind of cross over walls very quickly and able to rotate a lot better than Mineski. So, you know, after that fight in the blue side jungle, it seems that they are going to just hang around, not do anything, get some farm, and, you know, wait for the next objective to appear. For Saigon Jokers, it may be the Baron, but it's most likely going to be one of the inner turrets on the side of Mineski. So Mineski still needs that item advantage. Doesn't have it at this moment. Snoy being the only one who is kind of have all the kills under his belt at this point of time. Has the Sunfire Cape, has the Spirit Visage, is a very tanky champion, but at this point of time he really doesn't deal that much damage.
It's good that Snoy has these kills. He is the one of the tankiest champions on the side of Mineski. Will be able to combo up very well with Hecarim, but at this point, it's really where we need TG to have the kills, where Exo needs to have those kills, and the goal to go to them just so that they can deal with the Saigon Jokers who are quite ahead right now. We're actually going to see the Saigon Jokers start onto this Baron buff. It should be fairly uncontested. Pinks are going down. We're going to have to see how Mineski react to this one.
Yeah, so no wards at all, no vision, and they do pick up the Baron, and they may just be engaged on Exo being taken down solo. C3D as well, and TG will be the last one to fall. So it's gonna be Baron and 3 kills on the side of SAJ. So Mineski didn't even see them coming.
Wow, I mean, we were talking about this in Champions Select, how Saigon Jokers just have 4 champions who are incredibly high damage deals in both burst and sustained damage. All 4 champions have great sustained damage and great burst, and we just saw Exo got deleted from the game. C3D got deleted, and then TG got deleted instantly. All the squishiest champions of Mineski just got destroyed in that engage.
Yeah, and you know what happened? I think one of the main decisions for SAG to actually do that Baron was the fact that Exo actually popped his Destiny a few minutes earlier, or actually 1 minute earlier, just to port from the mid lane to the bot lane. So very questionable destiny call, especially at this stage of the game where they have so much damage dealers. They have a Jax with the Trinity Force and Ezreal with the Trinity Force. Yes, it's not a Blade or Ruin King, but they definitely deal a lot of damage to the Baron, as you saw earlier.
I really think that Saigon Jokers are hitting the point of no return now. I don't think there's too much that Mineski can do against them. I mean, they pretty much handled it in a silver platter. They're putting their squishiest champions up against 5 Baron buff members of Saigon Jokers, and they just got destroyed. So it's going to be quite hard for them to make a play to come back into this game.
Destiny being popped once more. I do not think that Mineski is able to actually pull off any picks. Archie just arcane shifts away and, you know, say Exo, no gold card. You're not going to hit the gold card at all.
That was a pretty funny Destiny actually coming out. This is just a couple of meters away from
yeah,
where he was standing originally.
Just, you know,
not
Destiny
a surprise or anything, just like, I'm going to teleport to you. And you're going to flash away.
Ezreal can just kind of dodge out any Destiny attempts coming in. The fact that he has the Arcane Shift, oh, I'm over the wall, oh, I'm just all the way, you know, out of your gold card range. Not gonna hit me at all.
Pretty much. So Exo's performance on Twisted Fate hasn't really impressed me much at all this game. I thought that they'll be trying to pull something out, but Saigon Jokers on the other hand are really impressing me this game. I like the fact they've gone back to the traditional support play instead of having that double jungle. I like the fact that they're pulling off these nice rotations and they're gonna delete him again, are they? No, he gets away. Almost.
Wow, that true shot barrage dealing like 1/4 the health away from Exo, and I think the reason why Mineski is unable to use their global pressure as much was because of the great rotations coming in by SAJ. We saw earlier Safety put so much pressure on the mid lane, and we had the fact that they actually put, well, we actually had an onslaught of shadows coming in on top of the Stand United, a great knockout coming in for the Wild, for Safety, and it seems that they're just going to back out. Safety still has that blood well, no one dies in that siege, and the mid inhibitor turret taking a lot of damage. Archie actually popping in with the Arcane Shift to deal some more damage to the champions.
QDB cancelled his Stand United for some reason. That was quite strange. So we're going to see, not QDB, sorry, Snoy cancelled his Stand United for some reason. That was pretty strange. I mean, nobody was up to contest him to get the stun off. Was still able to come back down, so all is good. But still, Saigon Jokers are battering in onto this bottom tower here. Be quite hard for them, quite hard for Mineski actually to deal with this one, especially with, as you said, the onslaught of shadows down. Spray and Pray is down as well, so all the ultimates for Mineski are down. This tower is going to go down with ease. Yeah, the Wild Growth is still up, the Divine Intervention is up as well. Safety taking a little bit more damage. GG getting deleted instantly. The True Shot Barrage should have finished him off, but it's actually Jax that picked up the kill, and Noel being turned into a little cupcake just gets destroyed under the heat of Optimus. There's really not much that Mineski can do against this lineup. I mean, they just have so much damage, and as we've been saying, just getting deleted by the members of the Saigon Jokers. Even
look
Snoy
at
now, wow.
Snoy. The tankiest member on the team just kind of gets destroyed so simply. And Archie, whoa, taking a bunch of damage, being caught out. Will Exo be able to pick it up? No, Archie will take that counter kill. C3D will be deleted as well, and Optimus gets the double kill. SAJ takes the game.
So you managed to pick up a kill right at the end there, gets the shutdown onto Archie. It's not enough though, and as you said, Saigon Jokers will pick up that game, and I felt that the Saigon Jokers played very well. They had a little bit of a clumsy mid-game, but their rotations early on, late game, and their team fighting abilities were just phenomenal, and I really, really liked their picks and bans coming into this game against Mineski. I felt like they had a game plan from the start. They played out very well with very few hiccups in between.
Yeah, and I must stress so much that the global composition coming in from Twisted Fate as well as Shen has a certain timer on it. It will only start rolling after they hit the level 6 point and when they get items. But what SAJ did was to actually send Safety to just destroy Exo in the mid lane, and we had Archie as well as Junie kind of duking out in the top lane with Snoy, preventing him from getting any levels, going in for the early aggression onto the tower, denying him a ton of CS, and by that time Mineski's team comp kind of fell off. If Noel actually was able to get some good counter initiations coming in and mirror Safety better in that game, we may have seen a different outcome in that fight. But nevertheless, SAJ, like you said, very good rotations and kind of showed how to use this team comp well.
So that will be game 1 of the night. We still have 3 incredibly exciting games to come in tonight's game.